Hello, this is Agent Kent here. I went out to play some more paintball, about 6 hours this time, and I got 11 matches to show you. I played quite a few more, but I kept forgetting to hit record. So this is what you have to watch. So this was the first one on the town, and I was going along this outer right side, the very edge of the field, to try to flank the opponents. You can see that I'm flanking along with this guy on the yellow, or in the yellow jacket. He and I were on the same team most of the day. I think this wasn't really my first match. I think I forgot to record the first one. That's why I had to reload at this point. But, oh well, it happens. Just makes things take a little longer. So this point here marks halfway up the field. And in general, once I get to about halfway, unless there's someone in the corner, I tend to try to move in towards the middle of the field to try to push them into their last corner. So that's what I do here. Move up on this building, and this is the building on their side of the field, not one of the three on the center line. And I'm trying to keep the guy behind the bunker there and trying to get a lucky shot if he pops out. At this point, I do take a hit on my arm, and I get a paint check from the ref, and you can see there's someone in that building that I did not notice. Once the ref called me clean, he opened fire on me. Got perfectly fair hit there. So here we're on the field next to the town. Somehow, the opponents did not really seem to realize that beige plastic piece ahead of me towards the right next to the large metal hopper, that's hollow. The opponents like to stand right behind that one with their legs exposed, and really easy shot. And that's a halfway point. So again, I'm slowly working my way up to get past that midway point. And then here that was the last opponent there that I saw. But someone else got him. Now, on to some woods ball. Now, I decided to go up along this left edge to stay on the high ground, hoping that most of the opponents will go down into the field a little more, into the lower ground. Unfortunately, it did not turn out to work that way for me. And overall, I love woods ball. It's lots of fun. But I hate the fact that, well, I hate for offensive strikes that the tall thick grass and the branches are great at breaking up paint before it hits someone. Defensive wise, of course, I love that fact. You can see a few times where the paintballs are pretty close to me, but they luckily break up on the barriers in front of me. Definitely get a bit of spray from playing on this field. Well, it turns out that there were actually two of them that were on this field, or two of them that were coming up along the edge of the field opposing me, which I did not realize until way too late. Unfortunately, my marker kept misfeeding. Really annoying, but oh well. Again, it happens. So, and this is where I take a hit from the side from the other guy who was coming up along the edge. Now for some speedball. Speedball's great. I myself am not the biggest fan of it though. I like woods in the town. Those are my two favorite fields. Now, I've only played out here at Mad Cow Paintball, so I don't know if I would like speedball set up to elsewhere. And I don't know how standardized speedball setups are. But this is the closest one to me. There's another one in my area, but it's another 10 to 20 minutes out. So this match I am ridiculously reluctant to advance. And they are able to slowly whittle my team down to the point where in a moment I'm the last guy left on my team. I'm pretty sure, at least. See another guy from my team go out, and he goes out. So I'm the last one on my team at this point. I think I ran out of paint. That was, ended up calling it there. I can't remember if I ran out of paint or if I did take a hit on the end. But as far as that one sticking behind one bunker for a while, it's nowhere near as bad as this game. I spent ridiculously long behind this bunker. Luckily, ultimately, it did not lose my team the match, but it very well could have. I was playing it way too safe. Next season, I will try to be a little bit more aggressive about advancing, but also next season, I'm going to have a better marker. I'm looking at getting more of a tactile marker, something with a buttstock, and I will try to pick better shots as well. You can see my teammate advances a little bit in front of me, and he's actually really trying to get out there to get a good hit without like getting out there too much, which I don't like to go prone while playing paintball, just because in general I'm at least a little bit better at advancing than this, and it makes it a bit slower to advance when you're prone. So I think here I finally decide to make my run for it. Make it to this nice long bunker along the side. And I know there's a guy behind that pyramid of barrels, but unfortunately I run out of ammo again. So, reload. And either I was able to get a good hit on him or someone else did. But then this one's a really simple surrender for that guy. Once he realizes that I'm pointing it at him that close, it's a clear choice. You can see my friend is behind those spools that are directly ahead of me now. He ducked back in for a moment, so I opened fire on this across the field. A nice, very open shot for me. And then I take some paint to the face. Right in the mouth. Unpleasant. And some of the matches were fairly long up to this point. I promise you this one is not. Take it right to the mouth again. And I know these two were actually back to back. So, yeah, took a while to get that taste out of my mouth. Now this match, we're just getting rid of our paint. This is the last match with the larger group that I'm with. So, I'm playing until I empty my hopper. I wish I had kept track of how many times I was hit on this one. But I did not keep any notes of that. I should have. And this is something I will do better for next season, is trying to keep notes of how many hits I actually got and whether I was hit, ran out of ammo, ran out of air, or surrendered. You can see that one that hit the barrier and just broke there. Interesting seeing the halves of the paintball flying around. You can see my friend went behind that little pyramid on the backside. For whatever reason, he decides to stick his hand out and flip me off. I don't know why. We're supposed to be having fun, but... I can see that guy's head just barely sticking out, and I run out of paint. So now we're with another group that was out there. Since, as far as who I came with, it was just myself and my friend, so we didn't really want to play any one-on-one. Not too exciting, really. So this one, we started at the far end of the woods ball field from last time, or from the last match you saw. But again, I'm go up to the outside of the field and just start making my way forward. And at first, we were far enough away from each other that neither of us were going to get a good hit. So I had no problem just slowly advancing. But once we actually got close enough that paint had a good chance of hitting each other, it was time to run for cover. Now this one, I definitely advance a bit better than when I was behind those blue barrels. Now I do lay down a little bit of fire to get him to duck back in again. And then I make a few runs between some different natural bunkers along here. Now I know long grass, when it might not stop all the shots, but it's definitely enough to help a little bit. So head for the wood pile. But then there's that patch of long grass straight ahead of me that I basically dive into. And from here, from here I actually am getting shot at. So he knows where I am, but I at this point am not quite sure where he is, but I'm shooting. It takes me a little bit to realize that he's a little bit more to my left than that. Maybe a little longer than I would like to admit. But you can see I did get a little bit of splatter there. And I run out and get to reload again. And drop paint. I was pretty bad about dropping paint while I was reloading this, or while I was out there this time. And I was not just dropping my pods where I refilled, which I should have, and I can go back out and pick the pods up after. But it's not what I decided to do, which definitely slowed me down throughout the day. So I try to keep him down and then make another run for it. And I really slam into that there. Or really run into it. I'm not slowing down until I get to it. Just so that I'm spending as much time exposed as I can. And here I take one right to the throat. Oh, that one hurt. I had the feeling, or that annoying feeling like I was going to cough for a good week after that. So this is, instead of the traditional team elimination, this match is capture the flag, and unfortunately I forgot to hit record until about halfway through. Luckily, this was a long game, so there's still plenty of action. I had a jam, and when clearing it, I realized that I'm not recording. So there's someone pretty much directly ahead of me. There's that bunker there along the ridge, and there's one guy hiding behind there. And he's the main one that's keeping me and another teammate on my right from advancing. And he got hit around this point. And with this, we did actually have respawns. So I was able to hold this point until he was able to get back, and then sort of gave him a little bit of an update as far as what the position of the two opponents were, because we were playing with lopsided team 2 against 4 on this. Well, I guess 4 against 2. So I go over to another barrier just to try to get a better angle. just to try to be around the side of the bunker on the ridge a little bit more so that I can get him while he's hiding. And I don't think I'm the one who ultimately gets him. But after a while, we do finally get him. So I was definitely sort of the point guy on this match. You can see, or I think you can see there when he pokes up a little bit. I try to keep him down just so that my teammates can advance and so that we can potentially flank him. And that sort of in what almost looks like a little crater, that red bandana, I think it was the flag. So we got the guy behind that barrier, and my friend Justin grabs the flag, so I move up to try to hold a defensive position at this point so that I can get them as they respawn before, or so that I can just cover him while he runs the flag back. Now this one is a match that I'm somewhat proud of, at least. And this field is a town, so we are back here, and it is about 100 yards across from one starting point to the other. Maybe a little bit less, but I did look it up, and that path that I ran was right around 100 yards straight. I think actually it was 302 feet. So I definitely made a run for it. So I'm way past the half point, and this is like the back corner. This bunker is. It definitely defines one of the corners. So I'm wondering where they are until I see the one guy running towards the building. So I play it really dumb and advance up past this building here on my right without really clearing it. Now I guess the door wasn't really facing me until I walked by there. But that was not a smart move on my part, and I'm lucky it actually played out fairly well for me. As I come up here, I realize that there's someone there and call for him to surrender. It takes me yelling at him for a little bit for him to realize what's going on, because I didn't want to be a dick and shoot him. I mean, I was far enough away that it wouldn't be too bad, but it would not be pleasant either. So then the other guy that was in the building surrendered as well. He didn't want to wait for me to pop around the corner, and I don't know. He might have had a decent chance on surrendering me there, but oh well, that was it for that one. Then this last match, I don't go for the same strategy. I start on the other side of the town, same side as the first match. And instead of going all the way along the edge, I decide to go in a little bit just in case they were smart and wanted to counteract me going along that outer edge. So I went inside a little bit just to make sure that I was covered if someone was on that outer edge. But after a little bit, I am able to verify that there is no one along the outer edge to get a really clear shot on me. So I go towards this one of these last bunkers on the edge here. This one's nice and large, provides plenty of side cover if they do make it past the halfway point. Unfortunately here, I'm eliminated due to lack of paying attention. You'll see what I mean in a moment here. I didn't realize I was out of air until, well, I ran out of air. This was the last match for the day, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more, please be sure to subscribe. Until next time, this is Agent Kent, signing out.